Hello everybody, my name is Antoine. Welcome back to another episode of Hearts of Iron 4 New Order. I am stunned that we are here. Why do I have only 300 political power? What happened to my, like 1,000 something? Did I spend it all on something? I don't know. Either way, Jean Kirkpatrick is currently the President of the United States. We've done it, ladies. Number one. Okay. So, what do we have in here? Okay, we have the old mechanics of the RDC. Hold the White House meeting. But now I guess we want to support this, because we're no longer going to go for Kennedy, of course. So let's hold a White House meeting. Maintain the failed current conditions. Balance the budget. Man, I guess we'll take all of them. Sure, fuck it. let's get all those guys going. Make everybody happy. Jean Kirkpatrick inaugurated as President of the United States. And now, a woman's true place. Are these all 14 days? Okay, so these are all very, very quick. And presumably this is the final one. But yeah, I don't know. This might end up being like slightly longer. It might end up being slightly shorter. It's hard to say. Like this, for sure, has to be the final episode, right? Mr. Kirkpatrick, I congratulate you on your elevation to this high office. It is a unique honor to be selected by the voters to hold this office. It is even more a unique honor to hold a position without ever holding prior elected office. Often, those who have not been subjected to the pressures of the public underestimate the burdens of high office. While it can seem easy to carve out one's path, independent of popular opinion, it is fraught and a dangerous path. I would advise you to be mindful of the interests of all regions of this country, and as you go through your political platform. Do not hastily dismiss those who are on the right, who disagree with your policies. All decent, God-fearing Americans will support you full-heartedly in your crusade against the twin ideologies of communism and fascism, provided you treat them with respect and dignity that they deserve. Okay, well, thanks. Thanks, buddy. Disable election flash. Okay, we can turn these off, because I don't care about these whatsoever. I don't even know what this does. Disable. Okay, I don't know what I did, but I clicked it. Anyways. Oh, no, okay, it's getting rid of these, okay, it's fine. I know what we're doing. But yeah, again, I'm really stunned that we're here. Part of the reason that I did the tax hike and the austerity was due to the fact that, I thought we were done. Again, not that it really matters too much, but again, I mean, 10% GDP is pretty good. That allows us to pay down the debt really, really, really quickly, which I'm happy to see. Okay. CIA Act of 73. Looks good. Betty paced in her room, listening to the president speak. Back and forth, the woman's words soaked into Betty's mind, even if she wasn't actively listening. A million plans were forming and disintegrating in her mind simultaneously. All of them amounted to nothing. Well, saying they amounted to nothing isn't exactly fair. They were all building up to something, and she knew what that something was. She just had no idea how to get there. There were hundreds of things swirling around her head, posters, speeches, and appointments, yet she knew it wasn't going to amount to anything. Not yet, at least. Yet she kept pacing, kept thinking, kept coming up with new ideas, new questions, kept running through her mind, one she doesn't even have considered. What would she be? She knew that she wouldn't be part of the NPP, but she also was unsure whether she would be registered as a Republican or as a Democrat. Her entire family had been Republicans for as long as she could remember. But the interventionism of the president and her Labor Democrats preach offered an appealing alternative. Then there was a question of her slogan. She wanted it to be a pun of some sort. She always loved puns and thought it'd be a great way to get her message out. She was thinking of something along the lines of "Vote for Diamond, can't be harder," as it was her last name in it. It was funny, and she could give it one more bit more thought. Her thoughts were interrupted by a yell. "Betty, what are you pacing around up there for?" "I'm running for office, of course." Okay, I thought that would be about the same little girl. The Blue Berets. Okay. Goodbyes were never easy. That was a lesson our Ryan was quickly learning, or one that was finally settling in. Obviously, he had lived through some hard goodbyes, saying goodbye to his mom right before college, or to his best friend as he moved across the country to the uncharted wasteland known as Louisiana. This goodbye was different. He knew it. His girlfriend knew it. Their friends knew it. They weren't going to see Ryan for a long time, and there's a chance they'd never see him again. Oh, his mother had screamed and cried, but what mother wouldn't? He was joining the military. If he was going to go abroad to fight the forces of evil. Ryan didn't know if joining the military was the correct term, per se, of course. He was joining an armed force that defends liberty, but not under jurisdiction of the United States. He wouldn't necessarily even be answering to an American. He might even be taking orders from an Australian, a Canadian, or even a Kiwi, or any number of other groups of people. Ryan joined the OFN's Peacekeeping Corps. He'd been wearing the signature blue beret. He'd been serving along the best of the best, as a freedom's bulwark. He was ready to do whatever it took to protect and spread freedom and democracy. He was already in peak physical condition. He had been training for some sort of military service his entire life. He just only recently became confident in which. President Kirkpatrick's increased OFN recruitment drives had ensured him a place in the Corps. He was an able-bodied man who could shoot a rifle. They wouldn't say no. Ryan's story was unfolding around America, as well as in other member states of the OFN. President Kirkpatrick had reinforced trust in the alliance, as well as relations between its member states. From LA to Denver to Canberra to Christchurch, young men were flocking to the blue banner of liberty. I appreciate the +1 manpower. I always love when Hoi 4 decisions or events just like +1 manpower, -1 manpower for, you know, one person doing something. Let's see. Let's go for the 1975 Diesel Angel. I think that seems okay. And I'm feeling good, man. We're feeling good. Any more foreign policies that we can do? No, we have to no money anymore. Okay, let's put 20 million into this. Seems fine. And now we do know Iberia is joining up with the OFN because they did do the visit Washington. Now again, they wouldn't have done that if we were communist or fascist, which I mean is reasonable. Okay, turn this off. I don't want to see a pop-up for you anymore. And yeah, looks good. Looks good. Faction health's waning. Closure board's waning. If anything, they should feel pretty good, given the fact that they did just win the election after 8 years of not irrelevance, but not being as high and mighty as they otherwise have been in the past. Unions then and now. Increases efficiency for trade unions. We shall turn attention towards unsavory elements of American politics. Uproot the enemy here. You know, we'll pause this. You can read this all up if you want. The change of human nature. So it's controversy to follow the NPP for 6 weeks and impact coalition unity by 20%. Okay. Again, we don't care about what the NPP does. We basically have killed the NPP. Like, I honestly don't know if they'll ever be able to come into relevance ever again. My gut says no. Also, by the way, we don't even need all these focuses because these are one or the other. Grows a little bit more unified. A little bit more unified. A tool for America. I think Kirkpatrick probably would try to bolster the OFN as much as possible. So we would go for the great post-war success. But the sun shines less. And we got railway guns. That's cool. What do we want to do? I don't know why these all have the same symbol, the same picture of the soldier here. It's not a big deal. What do you want me to do, by the way? Oh, because we have money again. Okay. Yeah, there you go. The winds of change. Tommy leaned against the wall, staring. He couldn't take his eyes off the poster that was in front of him. It wasn't a large poster. Not at all. But its very existence was an attack on him, on what he believed. As part of President Kirkpatrick's crusade against fascists both abroad and within America, various companies began to print a series of attack ads targeting the sovereignist faction of the NPP, of which Tommy was a part of. Tommy had to admit it was a good-looking poster. The background was an American flag. In front of it, an African-American man shaking hands with a white man. Above this man's heads were, "Together, we can beat fascism." In the smaller words below it, there was more. If you think you or someone you know may have been radicalized by the NPP, it's not too late. Call 555-1234. Beneath the small swastika with a massive X going through it. A pang went through his heart when he saw the swastika. Tommy wasn't a Nazi after all, or at least he didn't think he was. Sure, some people in his party might have some extreme views, but they were mellow out if they ever got elected. No, Tommy was afraid. He was afraid of the Japanese stealing his jobs and the Jews stealing his wife. Yet, he wasn't a Nazi. Did people think that he was a Nazi? He had been called a Nazi, of course, although Francis Park Yelke had lost, and he had been a Nazi. After a moment of hesitation, he ripped down the poster. He hoped they'd pick up his call. Okay. What do we want to do next with you? Night vision goggles, anti-air sounds great. Again, literally does not matter. I don't think there's going to be another war that we even get involved in, right? Like, what would there be? I can't think of one. I can't think of what else I can't think of what else there would be right now. Increased military supervision policy, effective drift. Again, we're going to be the Great War post-war success. God, these are actually long focuses, man. They've really kind of gone all out. Even though it's only a few months of content. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. Because I remember when we played the United States the first time around. Back in, what, 2021, I want to say, when TNO first came out. Like, once the president was elected, I think Wallace got elected in that timeline in 72. That was just it. There was no post-war, there's no post-election content at all. Even, like, a small... Oh, what is this? The CIA Act of 1973. I mean, we already have a vast majority. Massive overhaul, expansion of the CIA. This act removes plenty of burdensome and inconvenient restrictions the CIA has faced. Budgetary-wise, it'll no longer be subjected to the extreme rigorous and bureaucratic methods of accounting other government agencies have been subjected to. Yeah, okay, let's just get the CIA whatever the hell they want. Hey, we don't care about any of this. We already have the votes. It's actually pretty bipartisan as well. People are pretty for it, all things considered. Which is A-okay by me. Dynastic liberalism. Why are you dynastic? Like, you're not... dynastic. Your liberalism is about strength on the domestic front. Strength about giving people the power they need to seize control of their destinies. Okay. Is what it is. Talk with the Republicans. Yeah, no, we don't need to worry about any of this. We're looking good. CIA Act will pass for sure. And for foreign policy, I don't know why I keep clicking. Again, it doesn't matter. The CIA Act of 1973 is passed. One of the more controversial measures of President Kirkpatrick's first 100 days, the CIA Act of 1973 was passed. The Senate is now headed to the Oval Office. In a statement, President Kirkpatrick said she was pleased by Congress expediting the bill to provide urgent and necessary action to protect our national security. The CIA Act is widely praised by many of Kirkpatrick's national security-oriented supporters, who saw it as removing red tape that hamstrung the agency, made it harder for it to do its job. However, it attracted controversy from those who saw it as removing necessary oversight from an organization with a checkered past. Regardless, the president's argument carried the day, and a new administration was secured a major success in its first day. We'll immediately moderately shift support for the nationalist Congress. They'll support more nationalist. We replace rules of engagement with no restrictions. And yeah, we'll finish you guys up. I mean, yeah. We have what, 1, 2, 2.5 months, give or take. What about a research here? Let's go for military police. Sounds good to me. Yeah, but I hope everybody's enjoyed. I hope everybody's enjoyed the series. Like, it's been a long one. When was the first episode? I'm gonna keep my eye on this, but I'm gonna look this up. I'm gonna have the game run in the background while I just Google this, because it's got to be, because it's like episode 70 something. And I will admit, I have not uploaded a video every single day of the series. There has been some gaps. Videos. Part 1. May 27th. It's August. My goodness. Holy. Days since May. Oh, we got an event. Operation success. Okay. So what was this? May 22nd? May 27th. Days since May 27th. Been 90 days. So if I did make a video every single day, it would have been over by now, but that's fine. Broken nose. Once again, the sound of knuckles on bone rang out from the small room. A sound that had recently become commonplace to everyone in the room. Common as the rhythmic humming of the fluorescent lights in the background and the incessant stream of questions. Alias tried to think of where he could be. The operative word, of course, being tried. He wasn't able to do much of anything, other than whimper. While he may have been able to think when they first brought him into this place, his facilities had since left him. The endless barrage of blows had ensured that. He couldn't think about anything, not anything besides the seemingly endless stream of blood that was rolling down his chin. He hadn't signed up for this. At least he didn't think so when he joined the Weimar. It was because he had no other option. He, like so many other young men, had no other path in front of him. So he heeded the call of the fatherland, but only for a job. Apparently the CIA didn't see it that way. Again and again, they'd ask him questions. Questions he had no answers to. Questions he would refuse to answer, and questions that had no answers at all. He barely remembered being captured. He was in Iran, definitely, but everything after that was blurry. He had no idea where he was. The men and women around him all spoke English, although their German was also remarkably good. But it also didn't necessarily mean anything. After all, everybody in the CIA has the sights over the world for detaining people like him. People like him. He had no idea what he meant. Nazis? Germans? Enemies of the United States? He couldn't tell. He was German, sure, but he wasn't a Nazi. Stabilize Iberia once again. Let's go for the world's great post-war success. My voice is so fucking hoarse right now. I've been recording for too long today. I mean, it's good. I kind of like getting into this big, you know, stream of episodes. Cause I actually don't know how many videos have I recorded today. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Almost 2 weeks of content. Holy. That's looking pretty impressive. Am I going to upload all 13 videos at the same time? Oh, I don't know. Because, again, I'll probably put up a member poll before I schedule these. To ask people, because I asked before in another member poll. You should become a member, by the way. If you're not a YouTube member, get up early access to videos. But I remember asking, like, would you prefer me upload everything at once to avoid spoilers? Upload everything at once that may include spoilers, or to upload them in smaller chunks to try to avoid spoilers. People said upload everything at once. But, you know, when it's 13 videos, I don't know if that's going to be different to them. The great post-war success. Arnold's getting more and more used to Australia. It was a beautiful country, one that constantly surprised him, impressed him. No, America, of course, but it was still a strong arm of the free world. He'd only been living at the base for 6 months, but he could already feel himself starting to pick up some Aussie slang, much to his wife's amusement. As far as the OFN detachment, his job was constantly changing. This time, he was stationed in a small military base in New South Wales, beautiful part of the country. There was no combat in a specific role, obviously, but that didn't mean he wasn't ready for it. He had served in South Africa, he had served in Indonesia, he had worn the OFN blue on both occasions. He had fought alongside Aussies, Canadians, Brits, and Kiwis. He knew how hard they had fought, how committed they were to the cause of liberty, and how proud he was to call them brothers and fight by their side. As much as he loved where he was, it didn't mean he didn't miss his home any less. That little Manhattan apartment, the shoal around the corner, he missed it so much. He even missed the politics at all, kind of. He always did his duty. He voted for the candidate that would support the Organization of Free Nations the most. In 1972, that had been John Kirkpatrick. And he had already been seen returns to the OFN funding has increased, as well as improved international cooperation. Arnold wasn't a man who regretted much. He never once regretted joining the military, nor enlisted in the OFN detachment. He didn't regret voting for Jean Kirkpatrick either. Even as the protests back home grew louder, he was proud of his country, and proud of himself, and he wore the OFN blue with pride. Sure, let's stabilize Iberia again. It's kind of crazy how, you know, in like 1 year, a single year, Thurmond made the Marxist caucus a irrelevant nothing group into being probably the largest member of the NPP. Like, how could you be any worse for your goal than that? I'm not too sure if you actually could. We get a little more unified. The Kirkpatrick Doctrine realized. More volunteer limit, acceptance to basically every single group. A little bit more unified. Alhamdulillah. I'm ready, man. I'll expand the OFN. Again, Iberia, they should join soon. Exemplary State of the Union. It's looking fantastic for Iberia, man. They are. I don't even did we even get it up this high when we played as Iberia? I don't even think so. But I'm assuming the American AI was not as forthcoming with aid to the Iberian Union as we have been, to say the least. We've been putting all of our effort into this. Anything else that we can do? Again, not really. Everybody's happy. Barry Goldwater, Nelson Rockefeller, Lyndon Johnson, James Esland. Looking good. I'm surprised they're all still in power here, but I guess things haven't changed too much, especially when you're, you know, the minority party. I guess you don't want to shake things up to an insane degree. By the way, can you even change these people? It does not look like it. Must attain at least 60% hawkishness. I mean, there's nothing really we can do about that, right? We can't make people more hawkish. As unfortunate as that is. Also, I love this this art here. Alam Dualia. In a small cave outside of Shali, Chechnya, a group of men huddled around a large box. The clamor of voices came to the crescendo before their leader, a tall man with a rifle, motioned for silence. When he had everybody's attention, he began the process of opening a box. It was a long process. Over the long journey, the hinges had already slightly fatigued, causing the truly horrendous scraping noise. The noise and trouble was worth it, however. As the man looked into the box, his eyes widened. He began to pray. He was looking upon the arsenal fit for a king. Rows and rows of those rifles, rocket-propelled grenades that can destroy even the most hardened panzer, and countless other tools for destruction, to use against the Reich's monsters. And close was a note. More on the way. In Manchuria, a group of rebels trained in the newest American rifle platform. In Libya, a crowd of Islamic socialists sat listening to the CIA dispatch explaining the specific instructions for flying a Huey. In Nicaragua, a group of gangsters took turns aiming down the sights of a mortar. As part of the application of the Kirkpatrick Doctrine, the CIA has been sending arms and aid to anyone who stands against Nazi or Japanese oppression, regardless of their own politics. All over the world, the same story unfolds. Men and women fighting on their own battles suddenly find themselves aided by the largest intelligence agency in the world. From monarchists to communists to Islamists, the CIA is making new friends. Who knows how many they'll be able to keep. So Nicaragua, they're despot. I'm assuming no, but Nicaragua's in our like economic sphere, so I'm not too sure what the problem there is. But it is what it is. We'll just click this button because it's a button for us to click. Islamist revolution in Iran. Really? In Iran? Or not in Iran. Afghanistan, I should say. I'm stunned you have events in mid-73. That's actually kind of crazy. What is the last event for the what is the last event in the New Order? For any country? I have no idea. Not a single clue. And again, I will still show you Gus Hall. So I'm kind of curious to see how that would go for him as well. Because again, he wasn't actually even listed in the event regarding choosing a nominee for 1972. I'm kind of surprised that he was even an option, but it might have been bugged. It might be because they have enough support. I don't know. Oh. Iberia. Iberia. After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me? Inside every American, there's a fire. Someday that fires burn bright and shines through the darkness, promising to light up the world in a flame of freedom and liberty. Other days it is dim, the last embers of a dying flame, growing faintly, yet soldiering on. Maybe President Jean Kirkpatrick found this flame roaring. Found the same of roaring bonfire, or maybe, due to the past administration's failures, she found it more as embers that would she had to nurture back to life. It does not matter how she found it. It matters not whether she inherited it as a couple of sparks of a raging inferno. She has to turn it into a blazing pyre, a beacon for the oppressed people around the world. Lady Liberty holds her torch high, the fire shining on every corner of the map, from Germania to Tokyo, from Washington, D.C. to Canberra, from Rome to Jerusalem. The world is illuminated. Like a moth to a flame, men and women are drawn to freedom. The men and women of the Organization of Free Nations see the flame. They heed its light, and they go to it. Every day, more people join the armies of freedom. Be it by joining the United States Army, or New Zealand, or the CIA, or countless other organizations, they listen for its carrion call. While the roar of the flame grows louder, so too does the roar of the crowd. Some, of course, are in support. Crowds with the blue OFN banners are frequently sighted outside the White House, showing support for Jean Kirkpatrick. But then, too, they have the face against. The endless crowds of pacifists and cowards will also show up outside the White House. They think the United States should not fight against the Nazis or the samurai. Instead, they should bend over backwards to the fascists. Jean Kirkpatrick will not listen to them. The torch of liberty will burn until every man breathes free. Epilogue. All of America holds its breath. After the chaos and uncertainty of the 1960s, the country seems to be entering a new age set with a new set of developments. New technologies, capable of tremendous good and evil. A new slate of leaders begin to accept their commands. A new generation enters the voting booths for the first time. Of course, there will be more challenges to come. War remains. Bigotry remains. Pain and suffering still dot the globe. None of these monsters can be defeated permanently, but so long as the torch of liberty can burn against the dark horizon, America's future is bright. Okay. And with that, we're done. Look at us go. Look at us go. But I mean, isn't it kind of funny thing, right? Now Iberia's collapsing. So you've declared war. I'm gonna pause the video and I will pop in and out in a second, okay? And I'm still gonna show you Gus Hall. Tune in for that. Okay, I've loaded into the game. I loaded back to Gus Hall. He has 298 votes. Okay. I'll skip forward to the election. Okay, we're jumping back into this. He turned the presidential debate into just him yelling. He just gave basically a platform speech on the at the presidential debate. That's very, very funny. By the way, we're now in September. Still very much winning. We'll tune in for the election. Okay, so we're at the election. Isn't this literally just the Civil War borders right now? By the way, he won with 399 votes. He actually won with a bigger majority than Kennedy did in '68. Which is like, what the hell? What the hell is this? So let me know in the comments on this video if you'd be interested in seeing like a special episode on the Gus Hall presidency. Very interesting. I mean, this is literally like, isn't this literally the borders of the CSA? Maybe Kentucky wasn't in the CSA, but I'm not too sure. Anyways, that'll be the end of this episode, and it'll be the end of the series. Like, we're done. We've done it since May. I mean, we got here. I probably will do the special episode no matter what. So tune in tomorrow for the special Gus Hall episode of the New Order. But thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the series. Have a great day and goodbye.